What's going on, everybody? So today I'm gonna give you 8.5 tips to growing big banana plants. So without further ado, number one, location. Location is very important. Now, it may be different for you. I'm in grow zone 5B, which is one of the colder grow zones, but location is everything. I remember last year I planted my banana plants in the most sunny location that I had in the garden, and the plant did okay. This year I planted it in partial sunlight, so it's only going to get 4 to 6 hours a day of full sunlight, and I've noticed that my plants have grown better in partial sunlight. Again, 4 to 6 hours of full sun, and the rest of the day is getting partial sunlight. So that's number one. Number two, watering the banana plant often as you can think about it. And I haven't had a lot of time, but I have noticed the more that I feed them water, and to be more specific, rainwater. If you have a way of collecting rainwater, it will really help your banana plants blossom to the sizes that you see behind me. So you want to be consistent, you want to water, you want to store that rainwater, and you want to feed them rainwater, because the rainwater provides the banana plants with the nutrients that they need, and it's going to take you, like I said, to higher heights. Number three, feeding the banana plants fertilizer. Now I'm going to tell you guys something that I learned this summer. So there were, beginning in the spring, you'll start to see the robins come out and they're fighting each other, right? So one of the robins killed the other robin, and I didn't want to put it in the trash because we got cats in the neighborhood. I didn't want them tearing anything up. So I'm thinking, where could I put this robin? I don't want them just sitting in the yard. I don't want to put them in the trash can. So what I did was I planted or buried the robin right here. So right in the center of the banana plants, okay? And then guess what happened? A week later, the banana plants grew a third of what they already were in 1 week. That was the best fertilizer I've ever given my banana plants, and I was skeptical at first, but you'll be amazed at just letting nature take its course, because once the animals break down, and in my case the bird breaks down and decomposes, it's going to give the bananas the best fertilizer they could ever get. In addition to that, you guys know I'm big on the fish fertilizer. I put it on my last video talking about growing big beautiful collards. So that video will have the fertilizer I'm talking about. So fertilize the banana plants as often as you would like, because they're very hungry. They need to be fed a lot if you want them to really grow. So that's tip number three. Tip number four, I like to barbecue a lot, and I like to smoke my meat with wood, okay? Now, as the barbecue wood turns into ashes, what I've been doing also is ashing the bananas, right? So we don't let anything nutritious for our plants to go to waste, and by me applying the ashes at one point weekly is really added to the success of the bananas growing in this cooler climate that I live in. Okay, so put the ashes down, just let them naturally do what they're gonna do. The juice, the water, as it hits it, is going to create the juice, and what you'll have is another form of fertilization to your banana plants. Number five, the bananas love loose, well-draining soil. Now, this area here is comprised of different wood chips all the way at the bottom to get it going, tree branches, and then in the middle we've got peat moss, we've got sand, we have other types of compost. And I come to find that if you want big banana plants, you have to have loose, well draining soil. Now, what helps drain the soil is putting sand in there. Okay. Now, a lot of banana plants grow naturally in sand. And so that's one of the things that, a lot of people don't know about. So to drain it all off, throw you some sand in there. Let's talk about climate. Now, as you guys know, I'm in Grow Zone 5B. And Grow Zone 5B can be one of the hottest places to live in the country, but also one of the coldest places to live in the country. So we get all 4 seasons. We don't live in a tropical climate. We have brutal winters. And so my point in saying all that is, I've noticed that when the temperatures are in the 80s during the day, low 80s, and then maybe, 60s, 70s at night, this is when the banana plants really thrive. Now, once we start getting into the 90s, they'll still grow, but not at the same rate that they grow in the 80s. Okay. Now, that could be where I am. That could be because of the humidity levels. But for where I am, this is how things go. All right. Now, to add to that, for me, since I am in a cold climate, once it starts getting into the low 50s at night, I know that any day now it's going to be time for me to bring them indoors. Okay. Now, once we start getting to, the mid 40s, it's time to bring them in, because I'm not going to take the chance of, frost hitting them. And banana plants do not do well with frost. Now, there are a way to preserve them outdoors. I know, some of my brothers and sisters in Canada have a way to, mulch them good, put them in plastic bags, wrap them in bubble wrap, and do all of this stuff to preserve them and let them sit where they are. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to take the chance. The winds are too high, and we go below zero too much in the winter for me to play those type of games. All right. So if you're in a tropical area, this really won't apply to you much, because the banana plants are probably naturally where they're supposed to be anyway. So, hey, that's what I got on there about the root room. Number 8. Now, you'll see a lot of people grow their plants in something like that, which is a 5-gallon bucket. But I find that the plant will still grow, but it won't grow to its peak unless it really has room to really stretch those roots out. And I've been testing this over the last couple of years. So I've come to find that if you put them in a raised bed and it's about 1.5 feet deep, you spread them out and let those roots really spread. Like you can see some here. So back there, look at those roots. Look at those roots. That's crazy. So those roots are really able to spread, which allows the plant to really, really, really pump out new leaves, every few days or so, and really, really take its growth to the next level. Now, typically, when you think about where banana plants are naturally, they're a little bit closer to each other, but they still have the root room to grow together and share different spaces. But that's as long as they have the room to really spread out. All right. A lot of times when we think about roots, we think about the roots going down, but roots like to spread out. And even with my collards in the backyard, they're only about 4 inches deep. The reason why they're able to grow as big as they are is because the roots are growing the way they want to. They're spreading out. And the same thing with the banana plants. Allow those roots to spread out. Don't keep them confined in a bucket unless you're bringing them indoors and they're going into a dormant status. All right. Number 8. Gardeners are known as some of the more patient people on the planet, so they say. So number 8, it's about patience, right? So we all know the saying that Rome wasn't built in a day, and it wasn't. So your banana plants are not going to grow big in a day either. So you have to be patient, you have to be consistent, you have to stick to your routines and your plans in order to, you know, keep those plants growing consistently, right? So it's all about consistency. Be consistent, be patient, and it's gonna grow. Okay, so that's number 8. Number 8.5, right? This is something, you know, some people don't do, but I don't know, I like to do it, and I like to think that it has some kind of impact. But I like to talk to my banana plants. All right, so I like to have a conversation with them. You know, I let them know that it's me, I let them know that it's Poppy, you know. And you know, I'm speaking positive words to the plant. Hey, spit me out some bananas. We want to see those bananas grow, right? So don't be afraid to talk to your plants. It's not childish, it's not silly. This is serious, guys. So this is our way of, you know, feeding ourselves. We're growing our own food, and we have to develop a relationship with our food. All right, so those are the 8.5 tips I have to growing big banana plants. Hopefully you guys get something out of this video. Till next time, guys, peace. We're signing out.